Hello friends, my name is Atul Kumar Dwivedi and I'm going to talk about my big data term project. In my group there are three members, myself Atul Kumar Dwivedi and Kanaya Karaya and Pranav Bhatti. Basically I'll be talking about uh, for my second part, which is query part, and in this I'm going to consider some points which are like what is my query and how I'm going to implement my query, and then what type of batch views will be generated for our query, like which type of batch view I'm going to generate for my processing my query, and what approach I'm going to use to implement my query. Like there are many approaches to implement queries like a map reduce, hive and pig. So I'll come on this and later on, and how will this tool interact with our dataset. So these points I'm going to consider in my uh, part. So before going further on query part, firstly I wanna go briefly about my dataset. That my dataset is all about Wikipedia, which is a complete copy of all Wikipedia wikis, and which is in the form of wiki text source and metadata embedded in XML. And the size of whole data set is 250 GB. And basically in this we have a five different files, like, and each file contains 50 GB data. After compression, after unzipped, the size of data is size of one file is 50 GB. Before compressing and before unzipping, it was 11 GB. Now, what query I'm going to process in my dataset, that I'm going to list some of the bytes of all the records. Like I'm going to sum all of the bytes of all the records. As you can see in my dataset, there are many records. I have taken some records. In record 1, it consists 2000 bytes, and record 2, it consists 2500 bytes. Record 3, it contains 1000 bytes, and record 4, it contains 4500 bytes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to perform a query in which I'll add all the bytes of all the records and get as a wholesome as a output. So I have designed a map reduce for this, but firstly I'll explain the map reduce. What is map reduce all about? Map reduce is a combination of map and reduce. Map, it takes the input and generate and process the data and generate the key value pair, and reduce part takes the key value pair and then combine those key value pair and generate the output. So this is how map reduce works. In this, like I have created a function map record, and then I emptied is a record dot get bytes null. Like I am giving each record of file key as a one. Like I'm gonna give uh, key one to each and every records, and then I am function reduce one bytes records. Then I am bringing all the data, all the bytes from all the records, and in function map 2 I am adding, uh, uh, I'm bringing all the bytes together, and in the function reduce to, I'm summing all the bytes which I have brought from all the different records. So then I'm gonna get output. And then I have designed pipe diagram for this. There is a input which is my bytes, and then there is a function I'm in which I'm extracting bytes from the record, and then I'm emitting in the bytes, and these things is done by map. And in the reduce part, there is a key value which will uh, which I will take, and then I'll sum of values, and then I'll print. And so how I'm going to implement my query. So data on the master dataset is converted to batch view first. Uh, mm, in my dataset was in the form of XML. So then I have converted it to the text file, and then I have created batch views with whom I'm going to on which I'm going to perform a query, and I'm going to use Hive tool to process the data. So as you can see in this, I have create external table wiki in which ID is a big int, and the title it is in the form of a string, and the contributor is a string, bytes is big int, and the row format as ready. I'll explain that thing later. uh, and it is in the form of XML, you can see, as you can see. And there are as you can see, this is my path uh, of my data set. And as you can see, there is a title, there is a there is a contributor, and there is a revision. And as I have told you that my data is available in XML form. And so that is how I'm going to create the table. And then as you can see, the query select some bytes from Wikidata. Then I'll write this query, and then I'll be able to get all the bytes of different records. So this is how I'm going to do. Uh, Now I'll come to the types of batch views. Data is loaded into external tables created in Hive, and the tables are created with required fields, such as you can see, Hive create external table, Wikidata ID as a int, and contributor name as a string, contributor ID is a int, bytes as a int, and time is time as a date time. And this is the location of my data where my data is being stored. Approach. So I'm going to use Hive tool for querying and processing of data. And approach, Hive is a very fantastic tool for performing SQL style queries across the data that is often not appropriate for a relational database. And basically it works with the semi-structured and unstructured data. And it's very easy to perform a query on Hive on unstructured data and structured semi-structured data. And there are very advantage of Hive. The first advantage of that, it works on complex data types such as structs, arrays, and unions. And the second feature is the SERD. SEDI is nothing but it's the combination of serialization and deserialization, in which deserialization takes the input in the form of mm, uh, uh, bytes in the and convert it to the Java object, and then serialization take that thing and convert into the way in which it can be stored in the master dataset. So that it's how it works. And why I'm not using MapReduce? So as you can see that it takes a long time to develop MapReduce code and difficult to learn. uh, MapReduce is quite difficult to learn, and also it takes a long time to develop MapReduce. And also in MapReduce, to achieve a join functionality, it is very hard. So that's why we have gone with the Hive, and it is very easy to perform a query on a large data set. And we can, and also uh, if our data is very complex, then also we can use Hive for performing the query. So that's why we have used Hive to perform the query. So thank you for watching this video.